A supervolcano is classified as a volcano with an eruption magnitude of 8, the largest value on the Volcanic Explosivity Index, where the volume of deposits for that eruption is greater than 1,000 cubic kilometers, 240 cubic miles. Supervolcanoes occur when magma in the mantle rises into the crust and is unable to break through a fissure or vent. Over time, immense pressures start to accumulate in a growing magma pool until it explodes through the crust violently. This can occur at hotspots, for example, Yellowstone caldera, or at subduction zones, for example, Toba. Large-volume supervolcanic eruptions are also often associated with large igneous provinces, which can cover huge areas with lava and volcanic ash. These can cause long-lasting climate change, such as the triggering of a small ice age, and threaten species with extinction. Number 10. Garita caldera. Garita caldera is a large supervolcanic caldera in the San Juan volcanic field in the San Juan Mountains near the town of Creede in southwestern Colorado, United States. The eruption that created the La Garita caldera is among the largest known volcanic eruptions in Earth's history. The La Garita caldera is one of a number of calderas that formed during a massive ignimbrite flare-up in Colorado, Utah and Nevada from 40 to 18 million years ago, and was the site of massive eruptions about 28.01 plus minus 0.04 million years ago, during the Oligocene epoch. The scale of La Garita volcanism was the second greatest of the Cenozoic era. The resulting ash flows the volcano created, most notably the Fish Canyon Tuff, has a volume of approximately 1,200 cubic miles, 5,000 cubic kilometers, giving it a volcanic explosivity index rating of 8. By comparison, the eruption of Mount St. Helens on May 18, 1980 was 0.25 cubic miles, 1.0 cubic kilometers, in volume. Number 9. Lake Toba. Lake Toba is a large caldera remnant of a supervolcano within the Toba caldera complex of North Sumatra. The complex comprises of 4 overlapping volcanic craters that adjoin the Sumatran volcanic front. Covering an area of 100 by 30 kilometers, it is the world's largest quaternary caldera, and the fourth and youngest caldera. This last major eruption occurred around 75,000 plus minus 900 years ago and had an estimated V=8, making it the largest known explosive volcanic eruption within the last 25 million years. An estimated 2,800 cubic kilometers of dense rock-equivalent pyroclastic material, known as the youngest Toba tuff, was released. Following the eruption, a resurgent dome formed within the new caldera that filled with water to create Lake Toba. Number 8. Cerro Guacha. Cerro Guacha is a Miocene caldera in southwestern Bolivia's Sergipe province. Part of the volcanic system of the Andes, it is considered to be part of the Central Volcanic Zone, CVZ, one of the 3 volcanic arcs of the Andes, and its associated Altiplano Puna Volcanic Complex, APVC. Cerro Guacha and the other volcanoes of that region are formed from the subduction of the Nazca Plate beneath the South America Plate. Above the subduction zone, the crust is chemically modified and generates large volumes of melts that form the local caldera systems of the APVC. 2 major ignimbrites, the 5.65.8 Guacha ignimbrite with a volume of 1,300 cubic kilometers, 310 cubic miles, and the 3.53.6 Atera ignimbrite with a volume of 800 cubic kilometers, 190 cubic miles, have erupted from Cerro Guacha. More recent activity occurred 1.7 Mi and formed a smaller ignimbrite with a volume of 10 cubic kilometers, 2.4 cubic miles. The larger caldera has dimensions of 60 by 40 kilometers, 37 miles times 25 miles, with a rim altitude of 5,250 meters, 17,220 feet. Extended volcanic activity has generated 2 nested calderas, a number of lava domes and lava flows, and a central resurgent dome. Number 7. Yellowstone Caldera. The Yellowstone Caldera is a volcanic caldera and supervolcano in Yellowstone National Park in the western United States. Number 6. Lake Taupo. Lake Taupo, located on New Zealand's North Island, is the caldera of a large rhyolitic supervolcano called the Taupo volcano. The Taupo volcano forms part of the Taupo Volcanic Zone, a region of volcanic activity that extends from Rapua in the south, through the Taupo and Rotorua regions, to White Island in the Bay of Plenty. The most notable event was the Oruanui eruption around 26,500 years ago during the late Pleistocene with V=8. It is one of the largest eruptions in the history of New Zealand and generated approximately 430 cubic kilometers, 100 cubic miles, of pyroclastic fall deposits, 320 cubic kilometers, 77 cubic miles, of pyroclastic density current, PDC, deposits, mostly ignimbrite, and 420 cubic kilometers, 100 cubic miles, of primary intracaldera material, equivalent to 530 cubic kilometers, 130 cubic miles, of magma, totaling 1,170 cubic kilometers, 280 cubic miles, of total deposits. Number 5. Cerro Galán. Cerro Galán is a caldera in the Catamarca province of Argentina. It is one of the largest exposed calderas in the world and forms part of the central volcanic zone of the Andes. Volcanic activity at Galán is the indirect consequence of the subduction of the Nazca Plate beneath the South America Plate. The caldera was active between 5.6 and 4.51 million years ago, with the largest eruption occurring 2.08 plus minus 0.02 million years ago, producing 1,050 cubic kilometers of deposits. Number 4. Island Park Caldera. The Island Park Caldera crosses the borders of Idaho and Wyoming in the United States and is one of the world's largest calderas, with approximate dimensions of 80 by 65 kilometers. The eruption's ashfall is the source of the Huckleberry Ridge tuff that is found from Southern California to the Mississippi River near St. Louis. This supereruption of approximately 2,500 cubic kilometers, 600 cubic miles, occurred 2.1 million years ago, and produced 2,500 times as much ash as the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens. The Island Park Caldera is sometimes referred to as the first phase Yellowstone Caldera or the Huckleberry Ridge Caldera. Number 3. Vilama. Vilama is a Miocene caldera in Bolivia and Argentina. Straddling the border between the two countries, it is part of the Central Volcanic Zone, one of the 4 volcanic belts in the Andes. Vilama is remote and forms part of the Altiplano Puna volcanic complex, a province of large calderas and associated ignimbrites that were active since about 8 million years ago, sometimes in the form of supervolcanoes. Vilama is the source of the enormous Vilama ignimbrite, which was emplaced during an eruption with a volcanic explosivity index of 8 about 8.4 to 8.5 million years ago. A large amount of the Vilama ignimbrite is inside the caldera depression, while the part outside of the caldera covers a surface area exceeding 4,000 square kilometers, 1,500 square miles. The total volume of the ignimbrite is about 1,200 to 1,800 cubic kilometers, 290 to 430 cubic miles, possibly as much as 2,100 cubic kilometers, 500 cubic miles. Another large ignimbrite, the Siphon ignimbrite, may also have been erupted by Vilama, while the Granada ignimbrite was later attributed to a separate volcano. Number 2. La Pacana. La Pacana is a Miocene-age caldera in northern Chile's Antofagasta region. Part of the Central Volcanic Zone of the Andes, it is part of the Altiplano Puna volcanic complex, a major caldera and silicic ignimbrite volcanic field. La Pacana, along with other regional volcanoes, was formed by the subduction of the Nazca Plate beneath the South American Plate in the Peru-Chile Trench. La Pacana is responsible for the eruption of the giant Etana ignimbrite, which reaches a volume of 2,451 to 3,500 cubic kilometers, 588 to 840 cubic miles, and constitutes the fifth largest explosive eruption known. The 8th Anagnum was erupted 3.8 plus minus 0.1 and 4.2 plus minus 0.1 million years ago, almost simultaneously with the much smaller volume of 180 cubic kilometers, 43 cubic miles, Tokanalagnum. Number 1. Pastos Grandes. Pastos Grandes is the name of a nested caldera and crater lake in Bolivia which is around 35 by 40 kilometers, 22 miles times 25 miles, wide and has a maximum depth of 400 meters, 1,300 feet. The caldera is part of the Altiplano Puna volcanic complex, a large ignimbrite province that is part of the central volcanic zone of the Andes. Pastos Grandes has erupted a number of ignimbrites through its history, some of which exceeded a volume of 1,000 cubic kilometers, 240 cubic miles. After the ignimbrite phase, the lava domes of the Cerro Chascon run to Garita complex were erupted close to the caldera and along faults.